Why do Muslims stay with Palestine? Why don't they leave Palestine and go somewhere else? Well, to answer that question, it's very important to understand what it means to be Palestinian. You see, in the popular imagination, the Palestinian cause is synonymous with the state of Palestine, right? That implies that Palestinians are a nation state, a people with a recognized state like Israel. But that's not the case. For most of the 20th century, there wasn't even such a thing as a Palestinian state. And even when the UN proposed partitioning Palestine into two states, one Jewish and one Arab, it was the Arab leaders who rejected the plan, not the other way around. Initially, Britain ruled all of these territories as part of the Greater British Empire. In 1920, they divided Palestine into two, giving the Emirate of Transjordan, what is today Jordan, full independence and keeping Palestine under direct British rule. At the same time, the British continued to encourage Jewish immigration to Palestine and the establishment of Jewish institutions. But after the First World War, Britain found itself in a difficult position. On the one hand, it had made a public commitment to support the establishment of a Jewish homeland in Palestine. Those Palestinians have no intention of becoming Israeli citizens. To them, Israel is the problem. We're talking about self-determination, the right of Palestinians to choose for themselves how they want to be governed. We're talking about liberation, the removal of the occupying power so that Palestinians can live in freedom. Not only is Israel occupying Palestinian territory, it's doing so by force, and many Palestinians feel that their only option is to resist. Hundreds of thousands of Palestinians fled or were forced to flee their homes, and an equal number of Jews fled or were forced to flee Arab countries. Many of them identify as Palestinian and Israeli, both at the same time. If that's what the Palestinian cause is about, then yes, of course, every Palestinian should consider him or herself to be Palestinian first and foremost, above any other identity. But not everyone does. Many of them identify as only Palestinian, not Israeli. The Palestinians who remained inside the new borders of Israel became what is known as the Palestinian minority within the State of Israel. Some of them were granted citizenship, some of them weren't. On the other hand, the majority of the population of Palestine was Arab and not Jewish, and these Arabs were subjects of the British Empire, just as the Jews were. You hear people talking about the Nakba, the catastrophe, when they talk about, for example, the 1948 war in which hundreds of thousands of Palestinians were expelled from their homes and an equal number fled or were forced to flee to neighboring countries. When we talk about the occupation, we're talking about the continued Israeli military occupation of Palestinian territory since 1967, including East Jerusalem, the West Bank, or what's called the Gaza Strip. In 1947, the UN voted to partition Palestine into two states, one Jewish and one Arab. The Arab countries rejected the plan and the Jewish leadership accepted it. On May 14, 1948, the State of Israel was established. 5 days later, 7 Arab countries invaded. This was the first Arab-Israeli war. So when someone says, why don't Palestinians just leave Palestine and go to, say, Syria or Jordan, it is like saying, why don't Americans just leave the United States and go to Canada or Mexico? The word Palestinian doesn't just refer to a place, it refers to an identity, a nationality, a culture. It's not just the land that's occupied, it's also the people. When we say that there are two states for two peoples, one state for the Jewish people and one state for the Palestinian people. And so, no, Palestinians are not a nation state. They are a stateless nation. They are a people without a state. And to understand this, we need to go back to the beginning. One of the oldest cities in the world is the city of Jerusalem. It's on a small piece of land that has been inhabited by Jews, Muslims, and Christians for thousands of years. But over the course of the 20th century, the land became the focus of competing national claims by two peoples, the Jewish people and the Arab people. Both groups trace their connection to this land back thousands of years. Both groups consider the land to be holy, and both groups began to claim the land as the birthplace of their nations. At the end of World War I, Britain took control of Palestine as well as Iraq, Jordan, and what is today known as Israel. The British decided to split the difference. After World War II, the conflict between the Arabs and the Jews came to a head. By the end of the war, Israel had defeated the Arabs and expanded its territory beyond the borders set out for it by the UN. Today, Israel is home to about 2 million Palestinians. They've lived there for generations. They were born there. Their parents and grandparents were born there. To those Palestinians, Israel is an occupying force. It's a foreign power that has no right to be in Palestine. So when we're talking about the Palestinian cause, we're talking about the right of return, the right of those Palestinians who were expelled or fled to come home. If that's what the Palestinian cause is about, then yes, of course, Palestinians should stay in Palestine.